Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, we'll be moving through some lovely stuff to strengthen the back line of the body. And of course, this will bring alignment and length into your spine and spaciousness in your mind. We will start in a prone position today, but you'll definitely want to have two blocks with you and a blanket. And I'm going to read just a short passage out of The Art of War, and this is in the section, chapter 5 of Energy. Indirect tactics, efficiently applied, are inexhaustible as heaven and earth, unending as the flow of rivers and streams. Like the sun and moon, they end but to begin anew. Like the four seasons, they pass away to return once more. Short but sweet, but I think a good reminder that life moves in cycles, and this is in all levels, all arenas of life, all dimensions of life, all time frames of life, right? Like there's so many cycles that we're always moving toward. So in other words, peace can birth war, and war can birth peace in that cycle of understanding. But it's also the growth that happens through that understanding as well. So, in that idea of like, okay, well, peace could birth war just as war could birth peace. Yes. And the dynamics of such are, infinite in the realm of the possible. So this could be, it could be the war between you and your tea cupboard every morning when you try to decide which tea you're going to brew, right? Like it can be something as light as that. And it can be something as dark as you care to imagine. So recognizing that no matter what we are seeing outside of us, no matter what parts of the cycle we are seeing outside of us in other people, in groups of people, in nature, whatever cycles we're seeing, we need to recognize, that they're always happening. And so is the total opposite side of the cycle. So if you look outside and you see dark cycles everywhere, just the cycles of war, that's what you see. This whole world is a battlefield, right? Let's say that that's the only thing that comes up for you. Well, this is your reminder that if that is indeed happening, then so is the opposite. So, our brains are naturally wired to find the negative stuff and protect ourselves from it, right? Understand how to distance ourselves from that which we find threatening. But also, what is in our nature is to connect, right? Heart to heart, soul to soul, is to connect deeply and befriend and grow and laugh and pray and dance and cry and all of those things that it means to be human. So my whole point with all of this is if you look outside and all you are seeing are the battles, then start reminding yourself of the peaceful times. Start reminding yourself of the joy and the love that also exists. No matter how small of a moment, you can bring yourself to honor that. Be in that moment and do your best to multiply those moments. Even if you can bring yourself to one tiny thing that brings you joy, let's say seeing a bee land on a flower and so joyfully and meticulously collecting, and diligently, might I add, collecting the pollen to bring home to share with others, right? To grow, to build on something. So if you look out and see darkness, that's your key. You're in the dark, right? You're at the bottom. You're building a foundation So get your foundation laid out. You've already dug the hole. You're already there. So if you're looking around and everything is dark or everything is a battle, it's time for you to build. It's time for you to find the space where you are being the light. There you go, right? That is the journey. The darkness is everywhere, and we are indeed wired to see it more than the light. So that is why it is our inner journey to be that beacon of light for ourselves to see through the dark. And of course, that helps others as well. And we'll get started into our practice because, as you all know, if I don't stop myself now, it'll be another hour of talking about this stuff. So, like I said, we're in a prone position, so you're laying down on your belly. Your hands are stacked, and you can just rest your forehead or a cheek. And perhaps you've been hanging out here for a while already, but maybe you haven't. So just make sure you feel comfortable wherever you're at. And tuck your toes under. And just breathe in and out of the nose. Feel the rise and fall of your lower back. And then just bring your forehead to rest onto the backs of your hands. Make sure your neck feels long here. And rock your heels side to side. So your toes stay tucked and your heels just rock side to side. And just notice that sensation of your spine moving along here. So it's getting the ripple effect of your legs. Notice any areas around the hips that might be hanging on a little bit. We'll see what we can release today. Notice any spaces in the back that might feel tense, even the neck and shoulders. And then just bring your legs all the way to stillness. Untuck your toes. And you could keep your forehead down or rest a cheek, whatever is more comfortable. Now, bring your forehead to the ground, and you could hang on to opposite wrists, forearms, or even elbows overhead. It just depends on you. I suggest go around the wrists or forearms. Make it a little easier to start. We'll be doing a few reps, so you'll have time to refine. Now, squeeze your legs together and put the tops of your feet on the mat. Your forehead is down on the ground. Strengthen your legs so you're pushing the tops of your feet down. Now inhale, roll an imaginary marble forward with your nose and then float your arms and head and chest up a little bit. Just breathe in. Breathe out. Feel your shoulder blades move down on the back. One more in. And breath out. Nice and easy. Come all the way down. Inhale, fire up the body, come all the way back up. And down. One more like that. Inhale up, press your feet down. And all the way down. Relax the legs. All right. Same idea, except we'll be lifting the legs at the same time as the arms. So the trick here is you want to find action through your legs as you imagine reaching the toes back to the wall behind you. So you're stretching away from yourself, and that will then make it easier to float the legs up. So forehead's on the mat, Lengthen your legs, reach the toes away, hover them, and then float the upper body. Let your legs float, and maybe you can bend your knees and come all the way down. Lengthen the legs. Inhale, come up, lengthen legs, bend knees, chest is lifted, and come down. And again, up, bend the knees, pull the feet to your head and head to your feet, and down. 2 more times, up. So we're putting in effort, but don't strain yourself, right? Find a place where you can flow a little bit with it. 1 more time like that, up. And then just come all the way down. Relax your arms, rest on your left cheek as you let your arms come down by your sides. Breathe in and out. Turn onto your right cheek. Beautiful. Forehead down to the mat. Your palms now come down to the mat underneath your shoulders. Make sure your legs are together again. So just draw the legs together. Your toes are untucked. Good. Now slide your hands back a bit until they're below your elbows. So now you have 90 degrees with your elbows. Imagine you've got that marble under your nose again. The tops of your feet push down. Your legs stay active. Roll the marble forward and lift the chest up into cobra. So just a nice, easy cobra. Focus more on the shoulder blades pulling down, your hips pushing down, tops of your feet pushing down, and float the upper body down. Soften. Inhale, roll the marble forward, chest floats. Keep focusing on your shoulder blades moving down on the back. Hips stay heavy. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, come up again. And exhale, come down. Good, so we've got this, got the strength activated. Adding the legs in. Stretch the toes away. Inhale, chest comes up, the legs lift, we bend the knees, and then we come down. Inhale, up. So don't forget the marble rolling part, and come down. And come up. Your belly button stays on the ground, so you're not pushing yourself up super high here. And come up. And down. Good. Now continue, but now on these next reps, see if you can get your big toes to touch as you bend your knees. Keep coordinating the movement with your breath. You're exhaling on the way down, inhaling on the way up. Breath moves in and out of the nose. Make sure you're not holding your breath. You're doing amazing. We got 2 more rounds here. And down. And up. And down. Rest on your left cheek. Let the arms come down by your sides. Notice the hips starting to sink a little more. And notice the muscles on your back. Just see what's waking up. We're waking up lots more. Turn onto your right cheek. Full breath in. And out. And we'll bring the forehead back to center. Now, just bring your hands down under your shoulders again. Push yourself up just enough to slide your forearms on the mat and come into Sphinx pose. Make sure your blocks are nearby because we'll use them soon. So make sure that your quadriceps are face down. You might want to take a moment to just adjust your legs again. Elbows under shoulders. Untuck your toes. And just for now, like you could have your palms flat or facing each other. It doesn't really matter to me right now, but focus on pushing your elbows down. So really push yourself away from the ground. And then once you've got that, your elbows push down, think of your hips pushing down a little bit more. So activate your glutes. Now pull your sternum slightly forward, just a little. And then push your elbows down more as you lift your sternum up, just a little. Now place your palms flat if you're not there already. And think of lifting the back of your head up. So you feel a gentle pull through the cervical and thoracic spine. And we'll pause here. So breathe with ease. Soften your face. Think of the lungs getting wide and breathing into the back part of your lungs. You have so much integrated awareness in your upper body, so maintain it. And now anchor your pubic bone toward the mat a little bit more. Now your upper body just got a little bit lighter. Your glutes are squeezing. Stay integrated as best as you can. Left leg hovers as the right fingers reach forward. So reach your left toes back to get the leg to hover, and then bring everything back down. So with the back leg, think of extending the toes away and watch your right leg hover as the left arm reaches. And then come down. Opposite side, right arm, left leg. This is lots of integrated strength, not huge movements. And come down. Keep that strength, left arm, right leg. You've got it. Beautiful work. Come back down. One more each side. Keep those glutes firing. You've got this. And come back down. Left arm, right leg. Yes. And come down. Ho, 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 ho. Lots of work there. Stack the hands, open your elbows, rest your head down. Bend your knees here and just windshield wipe your feet side to side, but really like easily, kind of lazy. Let your breath be smooth and easy. And then we'll come to stillness. Let the legs come all the way down. Center your quadriceps. Untuck your toes. Slide yourself back up to Sphinx. But now we want to grab a block and your blanket. So using the block, if you have a foam block, you might not need a blanket. I'm using cork, so the corners can be a little bit hard. So we're placing the block underneath the front ribs. And again, if you don't have a soft block, I recommend putting your blanket over there. Now, we want to feel the support of this, but not in a way that's like really uncomfortable. So if this like makes you feel nauseous or you're like, you really don't like it, first you can edge yourself down a bit so it's more on your front ribs. And then secondly, you could not use a block here and you could have the blanket even just folded like 1 inch. Okay, you could roll it up. So there's lots of ways to make this more comfortable, but the point is we do want to feel some support in our Sphinx. So with your legs aligned, quadriceps centered, now let your glutes just soften for a sec, but push your elbows down. Breathe in and out. Beautiful. So now from here, tuck your toes and bend your knees. And as you bend your knees, let your big toes touch. So if your legs need to go a smidge wider or whatever, then do that adjustment. But that's going to be the basic movement of the legs. Legs lengthen down. The upper body folds halfway, just like a little bow. And you feel that length through your cervical spine. Inhale, knees bend, head lifts up. Big toes perhaps come to touch. Exhale, legs lengthen, upper body just gently folds forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. So just nice, easy motions here. We'll be continuing with this, so follow your breath and make it as smooth as you can. You can build strength in the back line of your body very quickly, especially if you just take your time and don't try to spaz into these things, you know? We don't want to be doing any jerking motions. The back of your body is as strong as it is. And doing repetitive motion like this will build the strength faster than trying to do really intense reps. So let's just do one more here. And come down. Neutral spine. Now we're sliding the block out and we're getting our second block. Both blocks will be as low as they go, underneath the shoulders, so that you can put your elbows on them. Okay, so make sure they're under your shoulders. And you can have your wrists lazy if you want to, or you can make fists. I like to make fists, but sometimes I like to be kind of lazy. So you do what you do, but we want to push the elbows down again. Get the chest really nice and bright. And breathe in and out here. Maybe adjust your legs if you need to. Notice all that beautiful space you're creating in your spine. Now we have the belly button lifted away from the ground, right? So it's quite a bit more work. You want your glutes to support you here, but just for a moment, push your elbows down a little more and relax your glutes a little bit. Then push your pubic bone into the ground and fire your glutes up again and see if you get more space for your chest as you push your elbows down. Yeah? Okay, so you found that sweet spot. Full breath in and out. One more in. And as you exhale, fold halfway, just find that little bow. Inhale, lift up, bend your knees. This is just going to be small. And then lengthen. Place your palms on the blocks as you let your chest come down, and then bring your arms down beside you so the fronts of your shoulders are rested on your blocks. Your forehead is flat down. Turn your palms to face the mat. So we have the blocks under the fronts of our shoulders. Of course, this is helpful in keeping the chest open here. Notice any areas that may still be holding on to tension. All right. Bring your palms onto the blocks. And feel your elbows just draw inward a little bit here. Now, you've been building lots of strength and flexibility through this sequence. So you might have more space to move, but also just be mindful and stay with the rhythm of this more than focusing on how far you can go. But do challenge yourself as well. So we inhale, the head and chest lifts up, the knees bend. Imagine your toes and your head meeting one another. Long journey for me. And then come all the way down, lengthen the legs, relax the forehead. Inhale, come up, bend the knees. Try to get the big toes to touch and come down, lengthen the legs, chest to the ground. Inhale up, keep the elbows in, big toes touch, and come down. 4 more times. Follow your breathing, keep your hips heavy, remember, but you can have your belly button off the ground for these if that's available for you. Big toes touch so you can feel that beautiful strength integrating from your glutes all the way down your legs. Keep the elbows drawing into the body. Move nice and smooth with your breath. We've got 1 more round. And when you come down, once again, arms by your sides with your shoulders on the blocks and your forehead to the mat. Turn your palms to face down, thumbs out. Notice any shifts in your breathing. Your body is likely releasing all kinds of tension, and you can probably tell because your inhales and exhales are getting a little bit more complete. Excellent. We're almost there. Imagine you have that marble under your nose again. Roll it forward and float your legs and your arms along with your head. You're like an airplane. Nice. And then exhale, just come down. Inhale up. And down. 3 more. And down. Last 2 have option to bend the knees. And down. And up. And down. Relax. Lift the head and chest up. Keep your palms on the mat. Bend your knees. Big toes touch, heels toward the glutes-ish. Float your hands toward your ankles. Reach your toes to the ceiling. Feel your chest open. Breathe. Focus on just allowing your toes to feel a little bit lighter to the ceiling. And then gently let your legs come down. Release your ankles. Rest all the way down. Palms face the mat. Fabulous. Let's come all the way up to set the blocks aside. Come into your Sphinx. We're just here for a moment. Bend your right knee up to the right. You could, of course, have a blanket under your knee if you like, but we'll be moving pretty quickly. And then from here, the left hand just reaches over to the right, left shoulder comes down, right fingers sweep up, over and around, landing in a lovely twist. Soften through your cheekbones. Take a moment and reach your right fingers toward the ceiling. Feel your right shoulder lift away from the ground, and then reach the right fingers overhead and toward the top right corner of your yoga mat, and let your arm just rest there. You could gaze over toward your right elbow if that feels good, but see what works. And nice and easy, we'll circle the right arm around and over to the right so we can press elbow down, come out of the twist. Left elbow comes back onto the mat. So you're in Sphinx still with the right knee bent out to the right. Now bring your right hand, it could come to the right leg or to the back of your hips. And then your left knee can bend. You can look over your right shoulder and find your left foot. Breathe in and out here. If available with ease, your right hand can grab your left ankle, and this can increase your rotation. Beautiful. Isn't that nice? And slowly release. Right leg or right elbow comes down, left leg lengthens, and then the right leg lengthens down. Left knee bends up and over to the left. Right hand slides behind left elbow. We reach all the way over, so right shoulder comes down. Left fingers sweep up and around, and we land ourselves in a twist. And of course, like, we're aiming to have the left knee down and the left shoulder down, but like, it might not happen. It's a journey. And rather than forcing, we just allow things to settle. Left fingers can sweep up to the ceiling. Feel your left shoulder even lift a little bit. And then reach your left fingers overhead and toward the top left corner of your yoga mat. You could look to your inner left arm if it feels good. Breath is just nice and easy here. We don't go to any space where it makes it difficult to breathe. And then take your time. Start to circle the left arm forward and around to land the elbow down. Bring yourself back up into your Sphinx with the left knee bent out to the left. The left hand could come to the left leg or the back of your hips. And the right knee can bend. You can look over your left shoulder to find your right foot. Keep your chest bright, and if available, maybe the left hand can grab the right ankle. And take your time, nice and easy. Release from where you've gone. Let the left leg lengthen down. Now turn over onto your back. And bend your knees so that your feet are on the mat. And just give yourself some time to settle here. So your shoulder blades feel flat, your hips inch away from you, but likely you can feel a lot more space in your lower back. So let's work out any residual tension that might be hanging on. Reach your arms straight away from you, and then just bring your knees in so your hands come onto your kneecaps. Your arms stay straight. Your knees are just above your hips. Keep your big toes touching. And just draw circles with your knees. Just little circles. Whatever direction you start is perfect. Bring your inner attention to the back of your hips and focus on the little elliptical shape you're drawing and smoothing out that action. You can get a little bit bigger with your movements. Breath is nice and easy. Do your circles the other way. Start small. Smooth out that elliptical shape. Maybe the movement can get a little bigger. And come into stillness. Cross your right ankle over your left and flex your feet. Draw circles again with your knees. And then go the other way. Smoothing out all those little bits. Come into stillness. Cross left ankle over right. Draw circles with the knees. And circle the other way. And come into stillness. Uncross the ankles and let your feet just come down to the mat. Relax your arms. Breathe in and out. Bring your feet as wide as your yoga mat and let your knees pull toward your armpits. So we're prepping for happy baby, but we're just keeping some action in the body first. So as your knees are pulling in, keep your feet flexed and notice your hips are on the mat still. Keep your hips on the mat. Slide your elbows inside your knees and reach your hands for the outer edges of your feet. So you reach in front of your ankles for the outer edges of your feet. Now feel the resistance between your fingers and the outer edge of the foot. Spine is long. Soften your breathing and focus on the back of your hips connected to the ground. If it becomes available, start to slide the soles of the feet to face the ceiling. But the hips stay flat. You may get to that 90-degree angle with ankles over the knees, but please don't stress yourself out over it. Keeping the resistance between the hands and the feet is key here. Your chest stays open, and your knees and thighs can slide toward the ground. Not that they're going to touch, just let them sink toward the ground. Optional, you could rock side to side, and just a little hint is you can pull on the side of the foot in order to help your body lower. So I'm pulling down the left side, and then I'm pulling on the right side. But also what's happening is the awareness deep within the core. So you can also do this movement without pressing into the foot, just by your abs alone. So just play with that dynamic a little bit. It requires a lot of abdominal control, for sure. But there are ways that you can get there otherwise, right? That can help trigger the awareness in the abs. Eventually you'll come to stillness and slowly release your grip so you can easily bring your knees toward your chest, hands onto your kneecaps again, so knees are not tucked in super close. And now push your knees away so your arms are straight. And once again, draw circles with the knees. Notice your breath. Hopefully you've got those really nice big inhales and exhales happening. Just naturally, not forced. Circle the opposite way. Come into stillness. Arms out like a cactus. Right thigh crosses over the left. Slide your hips to the right a little bit. Pull your knees in, over and down to the left. And of course, you can use a block here to put under your knees. We aim to have, of course, both shoulders on the mat. Will that happen today? I don't know, maybe, but maybe not. Don't stress about it either way. Do your best to get the knees all the way down, or the top right knee, that is. And then reach your right fingers to the ceiling. Feel your right shoulder lift, and right fingers reach to the wall ahead, and then top right corner of your yoga mat, and maybe you decide to look over to the right. And nice and easy, right fingers sweep up and around toward the belly, and you can bring yourself back to center. Undo through the legs, hips come to neutral, and we'll do the other side. So left thigh crosses over the right, arms out like a cactus. We shimmy the hips to the left, knees over and down to the right. And we hang out here. And check in, maybe your left knee can get a bit heavier. You could bring left fingers up to the ceiling. Feel your left shoulder even get a little bit of lift. And then we'll reach left hand overhead and over to top left corner of the yoga mat. And you could look over to the left. Nice, easy breath cycles here. Not aiming to control your breathing, just noticing how your body naturally relaxes and breathes more thoroughly. Left fingers could reach back around to the left ribs. You release to bring yourself back to center. Adjust your head and neck, so maybe just give yourself a bit of traction by scooping under your skull with your hands, lengthening your neck. Shoulder blades feel flat underneath you, arms lengthen, legs lengthen down one at a time. Drag your heels along the ground if you can, and let the toes relax. Close down through your eyes. Your palms are facing upward. And scan through your body here. Notice how long you are. Notice how strong you feel. And let's use the breath a little bit here to help us soften a little deeper. So bring your attention to your left foot. Eyes are closed. Inhale, visualize your breath moving up your left foot, up your left leg, up whole left side of the body, top of head to crown. Exhale down the right side. Inhale up the right foot, all the way up the right side of the body, around the crown. Exhale down the left side. Inhale up the left side. Exhale down the right side. And continue this breathing pattern. You may get little tremors or little shakes through the body as we did a lot of deep work. And this breathing technique will bring you to naturally be able to do alternate nostril breathing without using your hands. And that's a wonderful way to cleanse through the many, many naughty channels or energy channels that move through our body. In other words, it's a great way to regulate your nervous system. Keep focusing on the visual of the breath. The next time you exhale down the right side, just allow your natural breath to return. Feel your muscles soften. Feel your body sink a little deeper. Ease the tension out of your forehead. Relax your jaw. Deepen through your breath. Bring movement into your body as you enjoy a lovely stretch and reach through your arms and legs. Maybe enjoy a yawn, a little wiggle, just really stretch it out. Mindfully drag the heels along the ground so you can bend your knees into your chest. Your hips stay on the ground. Gently rock your knees side to side. And then roll yourself over to the left and press up into a seat that feels comfortable for you. Notice how nice and tall you feel here. Just resting the hands on the body or in front of the heart in prayer, joining left and right hemispheres of brain. And let's draw a full breath in of love and gratitude into ourselves. And a full breath out of love and gratitude for everyone else. And thanks for our practice today. Namaste. Namaste. And I sure hope you feel superb and that you enjoyed the dance between peace and war within yourself, yeah? And hopefully feeling a lot more on the peaceful side at this point. So yeah, I hope you feel great. Let me know how it went for you in the comments. And yeah, we'll see you again soon. Much love, everyone. Bye.